it's Elizabeth from Mr. Sizemore's English 1302 online class, and for this video I'll be talking about chapter 30, which starts into the drama section of the textbook, and it goes from pages 1003 to 1023. And I'm gonna go, like, the story I'm gonna talk about is Trifles, which was written by Marion Seldes in 1916. It's the only story in this chapter, and I'll be also talking about the elements, a couple of the elements of drama and how they relate to Trifles. Okay, so the elements that I wanted to talk about was plot, exposition, dialogue, climax, and characters. Oh, okay, so the plot of the story is that the husband is dead and that the wife is under suspicion. And there's these five characters that are trying to figure it out and debunk all of the possible reasons he could be dead, but he was found in the morning with like a rope around his neck. I thought he originally hung himself, but going later into the story, it shows that he was strangled. Okay, so the second one is exposition, and the definition of exposition is a literary technique by which a character presents necessary background information. So exposition, expose, kind of like, you know. Anyway, so we weren't there for the actual crime. We're there like after everybody's discovered it, and they're kind of giving a detailed account of what happened so we can kind of catch up in the story. So that's the exposition. Dialogue. Okay, so dialogue is the conversations that occur between the characters. So it's basically the entire script. And that goes on throughout the characters, throughout the whole story. And then characters, it's obvious, the people that are in the story, which are George Henderson, Henry Peters, Lewis Hale, Mrs. Peters, and Mrs. Hale. Okay, and then climax. So the climax is the turning point, but the turning point kind of happened towards the end of the story, I realized. It's whenever the two ladies of the story are going through the wife's house and they find a box. And earlier in the story, they had talked about a bird and how it had gone missing and they don't know what happened to it. So they open the box and the bird is dead with its neck twisted. So that means it got killed, most likely by the wife. So that just kind of like, oh my gosh, she's crazy. If she probably killed her husband now that we found this out. But they don't tell anybody about the bird, so I don't know why they did that. And then lastly, the setting is in the house where the crime took place, where they're all like investigating the whole thing. So that's it, and that was chapter 30, reading and viewing a play in its elements.